This is what my setup looks like, starting with my bed. This is where I've slept for most of my life. Not much else to say here. Moving on to the sonic bomb alarm clock. So I have hearing loss, so normal alarm clocks don't really work for me, but this one does. So connected to it is like a thingy that sits in between my mattresses, and instead of making a sound, it vibrates a lot. It's so aggressive that it shakes the entire bed and people in the next room can hear it going off. Next to that are these wireless headphones. These are the One More Sonoflows. These are great noise cancelling headphones for the price, which is around $60 last time I checked. They fit well on my head, they can get pretty compact because they fold up, and it even comes in this nice hard shell case. Not to mention the battery life. I mean, I barely ever have to charge it. So if you're looking for wireless headphones on a budget, this is definitely worth checking out. Over here, I've got my laptop. This is the ThinkPad T14 Gen 5. I use it for college and playing night games on the go. The one I have here is equipped with a Ryzen 7 8840U with Radeon 780M integrated graphics, which is ironically a lot better than the CPU I have in my main desktop. More on that later. Up here, probably one of the more eye-catching parts of the setup, we have this big poster. More specifically, it's a poster of Razer's second album, Pinkerton, which in my opinion is the band's best record. Yes, better than the Blue album. Anyone who thinks otherwise, you are welcome to fight me in the comment section. Just below that, we have my dual monitor setup. So the main monitor, the one that's horizontal, that's the Gigabyte G24F. As you can probably guess, that's the one that I game on. It's only 1080p, but that's fine by me. What really matters is that it's got a 165Hz refresh rate and it's decently color accurate. And to the left of that, the vertical monitor is a Samsung T35. I mainly just use this for like Discord, Spotify, File Explorer, stuff of that nature. Now for the keyboard, I have the Fnatic Streak80 LP. It's 10 keyless, low profile, and it has a volume knob. It also feels and sounds nice to type on account of all like the foam that's on the inside and like the lubed switches and stabilizers and stuff like that. The only thing that's holding this back from being perfect is that the switches aren't hot swappable, but other than that, it's a comfortable, fast keyboard that's an absolute joy to use. Did I mention it has a volume knob? That's like easily the best part of this thing. I've been using it so much more than I thought I would. To the right of that, we have my Razer Deathadder V2, my main mouse of choice. I love this thing so much. I've used it to the point that there's an indent on the side where I would place my thumb. It's decently lightweight and so comfortable that I forget that I'm even holding it sometimes. This mouse is so good that I plan on using it until I die. Now for the headphones, I'm using the HyperX Cloud 2s. I've been using these for gaming and listening to music for a while now, to the point where the leather on the headband is like halfway peeled off. They're still super comfortable to wear, even more so with these earpad replacements that I got from Wicked Cushions, and they sound pretty alright. I would upgrade, but I have the whole if it ain't broke don't fix it mindset drilled into me. Not to mention I can't really afford the upgrades that I want to make, but when I do, I would love to try out headphones that are used more in the audiophile spaces, like something from Sennheiser or Beyerdynamic. Now for the mousepad, this is the Razer Gigantus V2. This is easily the biggest mousepad I've ever used in my entire life. It's so cool to me that it not only serves as a mouse and surface, but also dampens the sound of my keyboard a little, and it's also like a sort of desk protector / coaster for the odd cold drink every once in a while. And for those of you who are wondering, yeah, it's really dirty. I should probably clean this soon. And above my mouse pad we have the trinkets. So I like to, collect various things from people over time and put it on my desk. So here you see the Lego burger truck, which I got because the guy in the driver's seat has a cochlear implant, which I also have. We have a tiny giraffe from Lizzie, this gamer Batman Funko Pop from Jacob, Vault Boy Duck from Zoe, Lego Minecraft set also from Zoe, this crocheted duck from Megan, a homemade bracelet from Caleb, this diamond ore from the Minecraft movie Happy Meal from my sister, and this astronaut sitting on the moon while holding a heart, another gift from Zoe. Now for my microphone, I am using the blue Snowball Ice mounted on a boom arm mount. It's an okay mic, it sounds good enough for what I'm doing. I've also been recording this voiceover with it, so you've been listening to the Snowball the whole time. Honestly, wouldn't recommend it today. There's probably way better options on the market that probably blow this thing out of the water by comparison. Next to that, we have this Logitech C920 webcam. I don't get too much use out of this either, since I just use it for video calls. As you can see here, I put it on a tripod from Sunpack, which I think gives me a better angle than if I just put it right on top of my monitor. And now for the throne upon which I sit nearly every day, I have the DXRacer Racing Series gaming chair. I've been using this since 2021, and aside from some dust accumulation and the occasional creaking sound, it's still holding up pretty well. People like to dunk on gaming chairs, and a lot of the criticisms are valid, but I personally find it comfortable enough, and I think it looks awesome too. Would I recommend it though? Probably not. Most people would be better off getting a chair elsewhere for a lot less money. Not to mention you can actually try those ones out before you buy them, which you can't say the same for these gaming chair companies. So if you like the look and you think it's worth the expense, you might like it too. Otherwise, I'd look into visiting an IKEA showroom or even going into Staples, where they have office chairs that are more affordable and probably just as comfortable. Now, if you look under the desk, you'll notice a few things. A very convenient trash can and the elite tier cable management. Okay, in all seriousness, it's definitely not as clean as it could be, but it's good enough for now. There is this length of cables that are plugged into the back of the PC, which I'm not sure if I can do much about for the time being, but I've bundled them together with cable ties to make them look a little bit neater. And finally, next to this long pillow that I use as a footrest is my main PC. This is where all of the gaming, recording, video editing, and video watching happens, and it's easily my most prized possession. And for all you specs nerds out there, this has an Intel Core i5-9400F, which is cooled by an NZXT Kraken X53 liquid cooler mounted at the front, an RTX 2070 Super graphics card from Zotac, 16 gigabytes of Team Group Elite RAM running at 2666 MHz and CL19 latency. For the storage, I have a 256 gigabyte Silicon Power A55 SATA SSD, and then a 512 gigabyte SK Hynix NVMe drive, which I salvaged from an old laptop. All of this is on an ASRock Z370 Extreme4 motherboard. It's being powered by a Cooler Master MasterWatt PSU that's rated for 550 watts and 80 plus bronze efficiency, all of which is housed in an NZXT H510i, complete with a lot of RGB lights. On the outside, I have the NZXT puck, which I use for cable managing my headphone cable, and then plugged into the front I/O is the dongle and charging cable for my wireless mouse. You know, in hindsight, buying a bunch of NZXT stuff probably wasn't a good idea for reasons, but it is what it is. Anyway, I do want to take a moment to stress that while all of this might look expensive, You might be surprised to know that I probably spent at most $400 on everything you're seeing here. I wouldn't have this if I wasn't gifted the CPU and RAM by my girlfriend Zoe, or if I didn't get this case for Christmas a few years ago. Even the power supply was a Christmas gift from my brother. And the things I actually did spend my own money, like the motherboard, GPU, and liquid cooler, were all purchased used or refurbished from eBay. Not only are you able to reduce the price of the computer this way, but I think it comes with the bonus of making it feel like a community effort, which I think is kind of nice in its own way. With that being said, this has been the 2025 setup tour. I hope you found this video interesting, and I will see you next time.